Well, Luke Russert, the son of the late Tim Russert, will be in Buffalo this weekend. He has a new book coming out called Look for Me There, Grieving My Father, Finding Myself. He's been on a personal journey to dozens of countries around the world, and we're delighted that he's joining us tonight via Zoom from New York City. Welcome to you, Luke. Good to see you.
Good to
Uh,
see you, Jackie. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Good,
This
good.
Sunday, you're going to be meeting with book lovers at the Blackthorn, and I would bet there will be people there who knew both your father and even your grandfather, Big Russ. Are you a little nervous about this, or are you fully looking forward to it?
Oh, I'm so excited. The Blackthorn's a wonderful place. And Big Russ was a regular for many years and a member. In fact, the last time I was there, I was able to actually see his little whiskey chalice up there they keep behind the glass. It was a wonderful memory. But I'm so excited to come back to Buffalo. A lot of where my story begins is Buffalo because of my father and the affinity he had for his hometown and also the lessons that he learned there about the value of showing up, the importance of hard work and being honest and being a good human being. And that stuff this radiates so much in the city of good neighbors. So I'm excited to be there and help celebrate the launch of this book
Yeah,
with some of the best people in the world.
those are all great things to do. You did say you reached a crossroads in your life in your early 30s, and you set off on a trip around the world to essentially find yourself. So, do you think you found yourself? Are you more confident and at peace as Luke Russert now, or are you still evolving?
Oh, I'm a work in progress, I would say. I think a Buffalo Bills Super Bowl win would help me find myself more than anything else.
You and everybody else.
But no, in all seriousness, when my father passed away, I went headstrong into a job at NBC because I really thought that my duty was to uphold his legacy and keep his flame alive and it lit for as long as possible. And in doing so, I never really came to grips with losing dad as my best friend, the guy who I grew up with all those years, who really was my guiding light. And it took me a while to realize that. But when I turned 30 and I saw the light at the end of the tunnel was a little bit closer, I'd lost a friend at 27. I knew that I needed to get out of what I was doing to understand who I was, independent of my parents and in the job that I had in Washington with politics, and really see what are you made of? And I did that through travel and learning how to embrace uncertainty and finding comfort in uncertainty. And the book is really a exploration and a journey of how I got to a place of peace and ultimately was able to accept losing my dad because I knew that he ultimately was with me. I didn't have to look for him. He was always there. But there's a long way to get to that ending, and I hope you give it a read and enjoy it. And there's a little bit of things in there there's a lot of stuff in there for everybody. There's a little bit for everybody. There's a lot of universal themes that people can relate to.
And I think that's true. I think many of us grapple with our mission, our purpose in life for different reasons than you did, certainly. But most people cannot afford to travel around the world to find those answers. What's your best advice to folks who are struggling right now?
I totally admit that. And one of the things I say is, this is really a chance to explore life that is done on the funds that came from the death and from things that when I got from my father. And what I would say is that you don't have to travel the world. It's something of value to be in a meditative state. And what I mean by that is get to a place where you can focus and you've eliminated distraction, whether that's a walk in the woods, whether that's just turning off your phone and really trying to get to a place where, okay, I'm not having everybody trying to tell me what to do. I don't have the weight of these responsibilities in a given moment, and just think. And, one of the things I learned about my grandfather is he delivered the Buffalo News for many, many years as his second job. And he delivered the news in some of those towns outside of Buffalo, like Medina and out there in the sort of farmlands. And I learned that that was a very therapeutic thing for him, that he'd be driving out there amongst those farmlands and have a minute to himself working, but to think. And I like to think that that's an example of, okay, Take a drive. It helps because there's so many things swimming around. In my case, I had to do an extreme thing because I needed to leave my hometown and leave the burden of my last name. But there's so many things that people can do.
Yeah, I'm so sorry that we don't have the time to continue to pursue this. I know you have a great story about feeling that your father was with you in Israel. Can you tell folks very briefly what made you think that he was there?
I was searching for an answer, and this is the ending of the book, so I won't give it all away. But essentially, I was in a difficult place. I was a little bit lost, and I emerged from praying at the tomb of Christ in the Church of the Holy Sepulchre in Old Jerusalem. And there on the table outside of the church was a Buffalo Bills yarmulke. Now, I'm not a Jewish guy. I'm an Irish Catholic kid, but I got the Buffalo Bills yarmulke. And from then I was able to find some clarity. And you have to read about that, but it's a wonderful story.
I think we can all agree that's definitely a sign. I'll give you another sign. You are with us on the day that the county legislature, the community has signed off on the new Bills Stadium.
It's so great.
And wouldn't your dad just be thrilled? And I know you're
And
thrilled.
it's going to be right there on Highway 28, Tim Russert Highway. And our dream is to have a Super Bowl parade down that highway. So we're going to get it done. I have a lot of faith.
We'll be there with you, Luke. Thank you so much. That's right. Your event is coming up this weekend at the Blackthorn Pub, and folks do need to pre-register, so we have that on our website for them. Thank you for being with us, Luke. We wish you well.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.